Well, going into clutch match, the way how I felt was I kind of felt lonely because just the way how like things were going and the way how we were playing as a team.
Because if you get an early Baron at this point of the game with this monumental gold lead, there should be no coming back whatsoever for 100 Thieves.
And then like stuff wasn't going so hot on like the plays that we were making, so we were kind of like slowly falling behind. Well, we started to give communication of like, okay, the early game is lost, guys, like we can try to come back later in the game. And then I think we played pretty well towards that goal. We hit certain item points. After I got that, we started to say, now we can win. We can start winning. I can win my side lane. So we started to like play aggressively, and they started to make like some kind of mistakes too. So we started to win team fights and came back on the game.
Piglet trading back and forth here with Bang. Onda looking to go in, but in a cataclysm. The QSS will not matter. The shutdown comes out around the glacial fissure. Looks like they're just trying to make Clutch Gaming into the fight here now. Instead, Hooning going to be stunned up, brought down. That's another big reward going over to 100.
As they go in one more time, looking for another fight.
Piglet starting things off. The burst damage coming through. Lyra's going to be taken low. Shield comes down. Onda goes in. Almost going to be taken out now. Vulcan with the 3-man pulverized. Onda finally going to fall. Piglet going on a killing spree, looking to find even more. Vulcan taking very low. Double kill over to Hoo-Hee.
Go, Kaisa. We win.
Mystic shots flying, Clutch Game and dying, and that's 100 Thieves getting themselves an ace. But it will not matter, and 100 Thieves will claim the win.
Game 2 of the day in Golden Guardians versus 100 Thieves as we send it back over to freaking Azael.
I don't know, I would say everyone felt a bit foolish for the way that game turned, because I think as it was happening, everyone knew the problems immediately. Having such a big turning point in the game, be macro-focused, was pretty upsetting. We weren't able to kind of perform in that way.
Nice job.
We can do this shirt.
Main Nasher. Can you put
They don't have any words.
like behind the
They
wall?
don't have 2 picks on Lucian. They're gonna try to trade.
Stream in the shirt. Back up.
They're gonna try to trade.
Gragas ulti.
5 on me.
They're going Elder now.
Yeah, they're going Elder.
5 on second on
We have to fight him.
I think we have to fight the Elder too. Back up. We're gonna go the Elder.
Red Elder.
Yeah, I can be back. Check. Watch the sides.
Oh, no,
Hey, we gotta walk now.
Oh, we got it. Oh, they did fast. Jesus.
Don't you. They're hitting turret.
I'm going. Rise is not. Oh, wow. I have to base.
Oh, we have to base. Israel has to
Why is
base.
it soloing though?
Rise is
Still
soloing
holding
Elder.
I think he's still gonna try to fight. We're still gonna try to fight,
We
guys.
still have to fight. I can come from the lane.
They had a good late game composition. They have Zach, they have Ezreal, they have Victor, Sweet. They all scaled up, and then they gave up Elder, they give up Baron. They don't fight for either of their inhibitors. It just felt like that was one of the most disappointing ends to a game I think I've ever seen.
So you're probably aware of, or have at least some inkling of what I'm supposed to talk to you about. You probably have a pretty good idea that they want to start you in LCS this weekend. Any concerns, anything?
And it just seems clear this is actually just a bad team. A train that is on fire and is like crashing into a ravine, and it's like, what is happening?
Am I the only change being made?
As far as I know for now, yeah.
Okay.
That game was just, to me, the death of 100 Thieves, where I'm like, okay, after this weekend, you're not making playoffs. There's actually no chance.
You're okay with it?
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Okay, that's good. Just kind of take it as it is. You've scrimmed against some of these guys, right? So
Yeah.
you have some idea of what to expect.
Yep.
I think you're
so.
better than you think you are. So I know you might surprise yourself. Just remember what it felt like in the TSM Academy game when you kind of felt nervous, right? And then, like, as a team, we felt nervous and we didn't do as much as we would have normally.
Oh, yeah.
Just remember the feeling immediately after where you're just like, I wanted to do it again. And don't put yourself in that same situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have confidence in you, probably has confidence in you. Everyone over there does, so.
Okay.
Cool. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
We're gonna miss you, but we also hope the best for your future career.
Hi, my name is Max Soligo Soon, and this weekend I will be starting mid for 100 Thieves. I never expected it to come this soon, especially given that 100 Thieves was hyped up to be a top 3 team. This kind of came out of nowhere.
I'm feeling a change.
Yeah, I think you can't anymore. For myself to have more of a balanced style, I try to switch between aggressive and defensive play based on whatever my team needs. I've learned probably more in 1 week of LCS scrims than I have in all of the Academy scrims combined.
I think most good fight when we have parry that make them come to us. I personally think the most important thing is you have to fight the midway because you can choose both.
I mean, when I first heard that I'm gonna be playing on the Academy, my first reaction was like questioning and like kind of like questioning myself too. Afterwards, like I just decided to move on, and it's obviously like not a great time for me, but I started to think like I should be stronger than usual, like mentally, and try to keep focus.
Like you don't feel safe, then like you shouldn't really feel safe walking in there and you juggle.
Playing that with those guys just kind of like, you know, like remind me the first time I played professionally, right? Like really driven, like, oh, like I'm ready to sacrifice literally everything in my life to be the best that I can be. And yeah, it was I guess like a pretty good refreshment for myself. Yeah, I've been only trying to think that way.
Okay, I'm first. You guys want to fight here? We should fight here. Oh, go. Okay, I can help. I have a timer from Herald in 2 minutes, okay? Yeah. One take, 1, 2.
Right, I can say either dive or drinks or peel.
The biggest thing we made sure to kind of reiterate to him is like he's not really like losing his spot with the team or with the coaches. Like he's still there with us, and he still has 3 coaches to work with him. And going to Academy is just different players, different practice, and it's still the same goal to be able to perform on the LCS stage and be a part of the team. Yeah, so Jay's strength is he kind of has a good like emotional attachment to the team. So being on a team with him, like he can like pick you up when you're down and stuff like that. So he's a really good like kind of emotional leader in that way. And in game, he's really like vocal. So there's never gonna be a point in the game where you're like really curious what's happening to him in his lane or his matchup or what he thinks. He's very clear at speaking his mind and kind of giving the direction that, suggestions that he would like. So that kind of is that's a really like hard like attribute to get out of a player, because usually like you try to grow it when they're rookies, their ability to communicate, and usually like it hits a wall, but kind of with Hui, there's no wall with his communication. Like he's very open with almost everything he has to say. Soligo's strength is right now he's a rookie, so he's like very eager to learn and he absorbs a lot of information really quickly. So kind of like the fiery passion like kind of helps him play like really mechanically accurate. So there's like a lot of times where he's just like trying to dodge something and people just can't hit him with things. And he also brings kind of like a slightly different team fight style, because he's going to be playing a lot more like how maybe an AD carry would be playing in a team fight, as opposed to like who would be like, trying to help someone else out or something like that. Soligo would be able to play kind of a lot more for himself when we'll need that sometimes. Yeah, so if we're able to go 2-0 this weekend against C9 and TSM, then we get to control like where we land in playoffs. So it kind of leaves a lot of pressure, a lot of tension, because the remaining weeks are still like growth is available, as opposed to like kind of continuing do or die. And I think if we go 0-2 against C9 and TSM, then we're going to be looking at kind of like crossing our fingers for certain matchups to play out that we hope, and we'll have to win everything after that. And I think in that place we're still not completely locked into playoffs, and we'll still have to rely on others.
I'm feeling a little nervous. I usually try to listen to relaxing music before a game, and it helps me calm my mind. For example, sometimes I'll just listen to Chopin.
I mean, really easy and kind of obvious thing to focus on is like your still playing against a champion. And the name kind of doesn't really matter. Like if you're playing well, you kind of know what this champion does and what your champion does, then you'll be able to kind of predict the situation and play it out.
I keep name tags off, so all I see are the two champions in front of me when I enter lane, and I just play the matchup as I know it. I think if you go into game with an idea of how the other person is going to play, it can be pretty detrimental, because if you go into game thinking that they're either like not that good or they're like really good, it can lead to being over or underconfident.
Last minute emergency coming in yesterday, 100 Thieves. In their game, they got a lethal dose of NA Fiesta.
Yeah, regrettably, it's not looking like there's really anything we can do for them.
Their exposure levels are off the charts. Is there any way we're gonna be able to save them?
I don't think so. My best guess, they've got 3 weeks.
Recently, I've been paying very closely to all of the mistakes I've been making in scrims, and I'm carefully listening to both Ryu, Jungle Juice, Probably, and Kelsey on their suggestions that they have for me on improving. And yeah, I think all of that will help me be able to play well this weekend.
So sad now we have become the children trapped in mazes. I give my soul to the one.
Last I checked, I think we're only allowed to lose one more game, or yeah, one more game before we're out of playoffs. So this is definitely a must-win week.